Hello, welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. Paradox has just released a major DLC called La Resistance. And what they did in this DLC is they overhauled a few things. They overhauled Garrisons, which I don't think I'll get to show off. They overhauled what's the word? I want to say trees. Well, here, I'll show you. So we're gonna start a new game, and we're gonna hop into Portugal first. I'm just gonna click start. But they overhauled. It's not the tech trees. That is not the word I want. The national focus trees. They added the ability to zoom in and out, which is good. Because they have made the trees for Portugal, they've overhauled that one, and made it much more interesting to play. They've added buttons, so if you want to see all the tech related to research, our industry, manpower, stability, what is this? Territorial expansion, war support, and political. So those buttons are handy. I will give it that. So they've overhauled that. They've added some new buttons. They now have an intelligence agency, which you have to build up. They changed the look of the research button. That hasn't changed. So that's Portugal. Let me go in for a closer look. So, as you can see, you've got the Popular Front, which leads to communism, and so on and so forth. The popular Estado Novo, which leads to nationalism, or a royal wedding. And then... Interesting! No democracy, nation in arms. Yeah, communism. Can help in the Civil War. Royal wedding. Huh. Yeah, so they can't go Democrat. Is Portugal a monarchy? I thought Portugal was a democracy. What government is Portugal? It's a republic. Okay, constitutional republic. Okay, that's interesting. The Restoration. Huh. Empire of Brazil, Kingdom United, Latin America. That's opposed Germany. That's cool. And then, standard stuff. And then they also overhauled France. So let's go check that out real quick. And I have been playing this for 500 hours at this point. I had no idea this global map was here. No clue. Live and learn. Alright, so exit to menu. And we're gonna hop into France real quick. Single player, new game. And France. We'll go ahead and start that one. I just want to show off So, a typical French start, but the national focus tree. So, you've got devalue the franc, which leads to a lot of industry. Begin rearmament, which is your military. And then, if we zoom out, look at this. This whole oh, well, hold on. And then over here is your Air Force, your Navy. Look at this. This whole section right here is now your political focus. And you can either go the Popular Front, and then communism, and then I assume democracy down here somewhere. I haven't really looked at it. National bloc, so this would be your, what's the word I want? Fascism, that sort of thing. Vichy France, that sort of thing. Down to here. Or, if you go all the way over here, the Council of Rambouillet, revise the Constitution, repeal the law of General, and boom, you can restore the monarchy. You can either do Orleanists, the Duke of Orleans, restore him, the legitimate heir, for Alphonse I, who I guess is a direct descendant of the French throne, or Napoleon VI can restore the Bonaparte. How cool is that? And take all of Europe for Bonaparte, which would be cool. And interesting. So there is that. I know Quill18 is doing a playthrough of Bonaparte for France. I know a number of YouTubers are doing Portugal and France and that sort of thing. But what I wanted to take a look at real quick, or focus on, was... I'm just going to load a game. Was specifically how the intelligence service works. So, like I said, they added the intelligence agency, which is a new map view. So this is my passive defense. So if I don't have an agent working here, I have 1.5 defense, and you can go into your agency branches, and that is how, as you can see, to build the economy civilian branch, it costs 5 civilian factories for between 30 and 60 days, depending on what you want to do. So there's passive defense, anti-partisan, a bunch of operations you can learn, operative training, which is interesting, and then updating your cryptology. So cryptology is no longer just, we go into research here, it's no longer just, see look, so it used to be computing machine, cryptology, computing machine, cryptology. No, it's just computing machine, and cryptology is handled in here. So you form the department, get groups together, you can give them assisted encryption, decryption, that sort of thing. Again, it takes civilian factories in time. And in order to decrypt, you go to cryptology, click on a map to add country as decryption target. So we will go ahead, hop over here, pop this open, and we will start decrypting Germany. So in 480 days, we will decrypt their cipher, and that'll give us an intelligence bonus for, I think, up to a year or something like that. That sort of thing. And as of right now, I have 2 operatives. And operatives just train automatically, and you can select them. I will say, it is a $20 DLC, and I understand that Overhauling, the French and Portuguese, we'll say the focus trees of both France and Portugal takes time and money and effort. Plus, everything they had to add for the intel and the overhauled Garrison. So you don't make Garrison forces per se. I don't have any... I'd have to invade someone to show off Garrison. I don't think I'll be able to unless I try to invade Mexico randomly, or Canada, because there's no way to edit garrisons, is there? Real quick. Like, oh, I guess you can. Garrison Brigade? No. Yeah, I don't know how to access that. But... yeah, you can only have 2 operatives. Period. That is it. 2 operatives. You get the first slot by building the intelligence agency. And another slot is made available after the 5th upgrade. So there's your 2. 5 upgrades, boom, you get 2. And then more slots can be obtained as a spy master for every second country joining your faction, excluding puppets. So, in order to become a spy master, you need to be in a faction, and the faction has to basically vote you as spy master. And for every 2 countries in the faction, you get a spy. Which is cool, and I understand it has to be... There has to be a limit to the number of spies you can have. You can't have hundreds of spies and thousands of spies doing things. And I understand that. However, I thought you would get more than 2. So, right now my spies are on quiet intel network. So they're maintaining the network, but it's not going up and down. The chances of being captured are drastically reduced. As you can see, I can mount operations. It requires 2 spies, and 50% of the network I have built up to infiltrate the Navy. You know, that's what the percentage is. Okay, that is how much of my network it's going to use up. This is how many spies it takes. But I can only have 2 spies, period. Ever, essentially. Even if, just assume you don't become the faction master. Spy master. So, that means I will ever only have 1 operation, maybe, going at a time. The interesting thing is, as you build up the spy network, so here, I've built it up to 64%. So that means if I were defending France, the US would get a defense bonus of 64% and a planning speed increase of 32%, which is massive. I understand that. Excuse me. And meanwhile, the German, as far as the way I read this is all planning, is reduced by 64%. So that means while they're planning to attack, France is going to take them 64% longer to do so, and the max enchantment is reduced by 0.6. And again, I understand there needs to be a limit to how many spies you can have at any given time. I completely understand that. But 2 seems really low. Like, I'm not asking for hundreds, but I thought, like, okay, so you want 1 in defense, we'll say 2 in Germany, 2 in Italy, and then you have to choose, as America, either 2 in Spain, or 2 in Japan, we'll say. Or you could spread the others, like, I thought you'd get, like, 5 or 6 spies. So you could have, like, multiple operations going at the same time. And then limit it to, you can only have a single operation in any given country going at once. Otherwise, the chances of increasing the spies being found out goes up by, we'll say, 200%. Just because you've got so much going on, sort of thing. So, you know, I was like, alright, I'll have 2 in France, 2 in Spain, 2 in Italy, that sort of thing, or 2 in Japan. That's right. It'll be cool. You'll have, like, this little mini-game, that sort of thing that's going on in the background, which is really cool, and I like that. But no, it is just 2 spies. And, yeah, like I said, easy fix if you've got more than 1 operation happening at a time. So, like, if you go, alright, I'm going to trigger, we'll say, where is it? In Germany, I'm going to trigger infiltrate. See, it takes 2 spies. I'm going to trigger infiltrate the civilian administration, and right now my outlook is good. The risk is 10%. The operation has a 10% chance of being found out. But the bonus outcome is the outcome. Right, so it's got a 90% chance of succeeding with a 25% chance of a bonus. If I were to trigger, say, this and capture Cypher, because I want to for some reason, that it changes from risk 10%, because I am operating 2 missions at once, well, now it's up to 50% for both. So you've got a 50-50 shot. Like, not like, oh, one's definitely go. It's just, you could, both of them could be found out. One of them could be found out. Maybe you get really, or even 75%. Because you should only be operating, like, you could have, you know, 1 or 2, you know, 2 spy networks and an operation going. That is fine. But if you try to trigger 2 operations, the risk of them being found out increases exponentially, sort of thing. I mean, I guess it's worth $20? I can't argue that. I feel like, see, this is the weird thing. So Paradox also just released a massive patch for Age of Wonders Planetfall for free that basically overhauled a good portion of the game from the ground up, and that was free. Is it as much work as what they did here? Probably not. I will admit that. But at the same time, I would love to sit down with a dev and know, why are you limited to 2? Like, again, I understand there has to be a limit. That makes sense to me. You can't have thousands of spies running around doing things. It A, becomes unmanageable, and B, would slow down the game massively. But if a country is willing to put in the work to make this sacrifice, why not have up to 4 or 5 spies? So you can be spying on multiple countries. And in addition, if you want, like I said, I understand the operations taking, you know, alright, this will use up 50% of the spy network. And I need 2 spies to do it. And my chances of, let's see, infiltrating the Navy are pretty good. Is there a bad one? Let's see. Good. 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 Risky. So this is a 20% chance of being found out. Alright, that's fine. Good. 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 Any others? Oh, they're all good. You know, so like if I decide to, alright, in Germany, I'm going to run this one. I don't think you can queue up. No. And capture the Cypher. You know, each one, the risk for the infiltrate civil administration, because you're running 2 operation, goes up to 50%, and capture Cypher goes up to 75% from 20%, we'll say. Like, it is, you just get a plus for every operation you're running in a single country, the risk goes up by plus 50%. Just boom. So if you want to run 3, go ahead, but they're all going to be found out. If you want to run 2, go ahead. It'll cost you spies and manpower and whatever else it needs, but, you know, that sort of thing. I am. It's cool they did this, and they definitely need to do the change to the Garrison system. And again, I wish I could show that off somewhere. Like, there was a button I could push to show, like, how Garrisons work. Because the way Garrisons work now... Oh, right here is the Kingdom of Hawaii. So, here you get a cavalry division, and you can select. We use the cavalry division and civilian oversight, and you can, you know, civilian oversight, no garrison, local autonomy, and each one has bonuses and negatives. Like, if I go to harsh quotas, you know, you get a lot of local resources and factories, but the rebellion goes up. through the roof sort of thing. And it tells you, like, here, you know, each, you know, the lower the compliance, the more the rebellion. You know, average resistance, the higher that goes up, the lower this goes down. And you get trade-offs and negatives. And then you can choose, alright, do you want to use an armored division? Do you want to use an infantry division? Do you want to use a cavalry division? And it tells you, you know, it'll cost you this. You know, tanks and that sort of thing. And they just generate. So, and I think, yeah, you select. You know, I want one cavalry division, and then you can go into recruit and deploy and edit your cavalry division. So if I want to, let's see, right now, do they tell you suppression? It said it was 16, right? Yeah, suppression is 16. If I add, you know, 2 more and save suppression 20, and now if we go into manage occupied territories, they're using a cavalry division. Suppression is now 20. And I like this change, and this is just done automatically. You don't have to worry about it. That sort of thing. As far as like producing specific, you know, I need to, you know, I have captured all of Spain. I need to make 200 cavalry units, set them on garrison mode, and, you know, it is just, alright, cavalry division. Boom! I've captured Spain. I want to use cavalry division. I want to set it to civilian oversight, we'll say. Huh. I don't know why I wouldn't set it to local autonomy. And then it's like, alright, well, this is how much of the required garrison you need. So it would use, you know, like if I set it to martial law, it uses a full cavalry division. And this is just Hawaii. 5 core states. I think it would be interesting. So it would be like, I'm guessing if you did Spain, it would be like, alright, well you need like, oh, it tells you right here, of manpower. So if I put no garrison, really? No garrison. Boom. It requires 9.7k manpower. And it set, you know, like, no garrison. Alright, if I do harsh quotas, you know, they hate me. It's gonna start building up, and it requires more manpower and more garrison. That sort of thing. No garrison. Oh. A garrison there and a garrison there wouldn't hurt. Oversight. Actually, you know what? Local autonomy and local autonomy. Just because. So you can do that. Where I'm in the process of... So, I like the changes they made. I am disappointed in how few operatives you get. And how this plays out. Maybe they will expand it, and I hope they do. But... those are my thoughts on the news of the La Resistance expansion. Is it worth $20? Probably, because of all the work they had to do. And modifying how garrisons work. And completely overhauling the French focus trees. And the Portugal trees. You know... I understand that's a lot of work, that's a lot of time, that's a lot of effort in creating the way intelligent networks and how they work and that sort of thing. Completely understand $20. Yes, fine. But at the same time, again, if a country is willing to put in the work I am disappointed in how few operatives you get. Like I said, I'm not saying I was expecting hundreds, but I was expecting more than 2. I thought you could do alright, like I said, if I want to do an operation, that is, every operation is 2 operatives. And each one uses up a different percentage of your network, which I completely understand. But I thought it would be, alright, I'll have a couple operatives in Germany, a couple, as America, if I take the time to build it up, a couple operatives in Germany, an operative in Italy, so 2 in Germany, 1 in Spain, 1 in Japan, and 1 in defense. Boom. And, that means that I'll get some information, and I'll have the option to do, I can either get rid of a few intel while I do a couple of operations in a few countries, but, I can at least keep an eye, something like that. Not just, alright, pick one country and focus. It is, the intelligence network is a disappointment. Again, I like the idea, I like the concept. I am disappointed in how few operatives you get, and again, I cannot stress this enough. I understand there has to be a limit. And like I said, I figured if a country was willing to put in the effort, 1 or 2 easily obtained, fine, I understand that. Boom, every country's probably more or less going to have 2, even if they only put in a minimal effort. But if a country will put in serious effort into building up their intelligence network, they could have, 5 or 6 operatives, and they could run, they could have, an operation running in Germany, Spain, and Italy at the same time, if they wanted to, and if they were willing to increase the risk by an exponential margin, they could have 2 operations running in Germany, sort of thing. But no, it is just, alright, boom, I've got 2 operatives, do what you can, good luck. It's just kind of like, because that means for a company like a country like America, there's still not that much to do while you're not at war. Because in my mind, it would be, alright, I'm going to play America. I will do what I need to do as America, and while I'm doing that, I can have this whole little game, I'll be doing operations and doing the spy thing and that sort of thing. If you play as France, you got to worry about war, and you're dealing with that, and that's more than enough. And then you're probably going to enter the war really early, and then you'll be dealing with that, so the spy operations will go to the background. And with America, it'd be like, I have nothing to do for the first 2 hours out of the game. That means I can just go nuts with the spy network. I can have 2 or 3 operations going in 2 or 3 different countries, or one operation in a country and building up spy networks in multiple locations and that sort of thing. Just go nuts while my country just kind of ticks away and I'm not doing much. But no, not so much. You still feel pretty empty doing nothing as America. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you had a chance to play the game? That is up to you. Is it worth it? Again, for $20? Probably, because of all the other work they did, yes. Do you think it's worth $20? Well, up to you. Again, leave a comment about what you think. Did you get a chance to play this? That sort of thing. Just, yeah, it's cool, but kind of disappointing at the same time. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this look at the La Resistance DLC for Hearts of Iron 4, as well as my thoughts on the matter. Agree or disagree? Say so in the comments. Keep it civil, I will ask that. Thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to like, subscribe, or comment. Or come on over and check me out on Twitch when I stream live every Monday through Friday during the week. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.